Yeah, good afternoon, everyone, once again, and I welcome you all to this session on career trajectories in education. So, the basic purpose with which this session is lined up is to think about the various verticals that can be associated or that can be looked after you take up your degree of education, that is your Bachelor of Education. We often think that B.Ed is training, for classroom teaching. But over a period of time, and I think going through the processes that B.Ed offers, I think it makes you, I don't know how much eligible, but at least it makes you competent enough to go ahead with different roles that you can take up in education. So eligibility is something that we need to check, but you have many areas to look into after you do your B.Ed. It is not only restricted to classroom teaching. You can advance yourself as a coordinator, you can advance yourself as a vice principal, you can be a content writer, you can be an instructional designer. There are many things that one can look into, and I think B.Ed will help you in that process because it will help you to plan a lesson. It will help you to, look into how resources can be organized and, can be used to the best of your knowledge and yeah, various other things that it can help you with. So I think the purpose with which we have called today these experts also is with this purpose, that they help us out in bringing that view to what we are looking at, right? So we have with us today Shachi Rawal, and all of them are my students. So I will call them Shachi, Shivani, and Ginny, right? And even Vali madam is there with us. So yeah, so I think all of us, for us, they are students, but yeah, for you all, they might be experts. Yeah, so we will not have a very formal session, but it will be an interactive session that will help us comprehending what we are looking at. So we'll begin with Shachi and then Ginny and then Shivani putting up their ideas on what we are looking at. But initially, to introduce Shachi, uh, she comes from, I think, a lot of backgrounds that she has looked into. Basically, she has done B.Ed from us, from our university. And before that, she was also an adjunct lecturer in MSU. So she had that, experience with her. Then she came up to us to do her B.Ed. And then she went for doing her M.Ed from University of Dundee, UK, right? So that's where I think that phase of moving from B.Ed to M.Ed in some university abroad, I think that is something that we need to look into. That even that is one vertical that all of you can look at. So, and then she also has done her leadership and curriculum development into University of Dundee. She's been looking after that, and right now she's looking at student support and mentorship. So, with this, I think I'll invite Shachi Rawal to tell us about how she got an idea of going ahead with her master's in education at University of Dundee, and how MEd has helped her, encapsulate the experiences of B.Ed also, because she had her base and then she did her MEd. First question is how she went ahead with that idea of doing her master's over there. So in short, what is the process? Because I think many of you might be looking at this, that going ahead and doing masters abroad. Many of us look at that. So one is this, and how B.Ed has helped build that base for you. There are two questions. Yeah.
Thank you so much for the opportunity, ma'am.
Yeah.
And hello, Valli, ma'am. I'm so excited to see you all and Shivani and Ginny again after so long. So yeah, I'm just I'm like, it's morning here and I'm wishing everyone good afternoon, and everyone's just tired and have done with their work, and I'm all fresh, ready for the day. So yeah. So um First of all, before answering the first question, I would like to answer the second question about the B.Ed as the base and how has B.Ed helped. So, as you have rightly said, ma'am, that B.Ed is not just about the classroom teaching. The first idea that clicks when you hear someone doing B.Ed or someone with the past academic qualification of B.Ed, it's like they must be a teacher, he or she must be a teacher, but that is the first idea that comes. But there are various segments and wings to education, and B.Ed has been the foundation of it. Now, we did start with studying theories and various child psychology theories that were there during the journey, and that had helped with the basic understanding of what education is. But when I moved on further, I was able to relate it more to what was me being a classroom teacher, me studying B.Ed, and then using it in a very different area and very different set of diverse group of people that currently I am working with. So, most important thing that I would all the students here would want to focus on is that B.Ed helps you to develop your transferable skills if you can identify them. If you know exactly that these are the transferable skills or these are the skills that B.Ed is helping you develop, because if you don't focus on those transferable skills, you will not be able to explore the other segments of education or other areas that you might be very much inclined in, apart from teaching, apart from classroom teaching. And I would say we all, even if like I'm working with in a student support role at the university, but education is, we are all teachers, like that's a part of me always comes out and with anyone I talk, right? So we'll always be teachers, but the transferable skills that I'm talking about, that is what B.Ed has helped me with, and that was the base for me to build upon what I did next and where I am now and where I'm planning to move on in my career journey. So now, obviously, they are called transferable skills because you can use them anywhere, but you can also go back to your foundation. You can always go back to B.Ed. You can always uh, relate to why did we study this theory? Why are we studying John Dewey? And why other experts that are there in the field? So I did develop skills like problem solving skills and most importantly, critical thinking skills, because there are tons of information and data that we come across as students. Uh, if you're doing your assignments, if you are doing any kind of academic work, if you are doing your lesson plan, or even if I just want to simply be talking to a student and just support them to accommodate in their journey, I would want these kind of skills and knowledge. And this data that we come across every single day, you have to learn to interpret it. You have to learn to uh, make a strategic decision based on the data and how you would use that data. So critical thinking skills and thinking out of the box, being creative, problem solving skills, which is like the basic need for every single job, even if it's not education anywhere else. So these kind of skills were developed, and I did not realize it, to be very honest, when I was doing my B.Ed, because I was so busy doing assignments and all of that, and everyone could relate to this. But when you reflect after you're done, when you reflect, you move on in your journey, you're able to understand that, okay, you are being grilled with lots of assignments and exams, but now you are like, okay, come on, give me something new and I'll be able to do it. So that's what B.Ed does to you, and that's what B.Ed did to me. Now, working on these base skills and the networking, the communication skills, in fact, which I built later on being as a teacher with Poddar World School as well, I realized that I know I'm a teacher, I could conduct classes, all of that. I got a good feedback, and there are tons of areas to improve. But I am much more inclined towards being in a supportive role, because students do need support in their journey. I needed support in my journey because we are all lost. We don't know how things are, and we want someone just to not to tell us what to do, but how to do it and what could be various paths for us. And research is another thing that I was very much interested in. And I my main purpose to move and do my Master of Education here was I would be able to be in a very diverse environment, and that would open up tons of things for me which would not be there when I was in my comfort zone. I was in India. I knew people around me. I knew how to talk to them. I knew how to communicate certain things to them, even if they are little things that we do every single day, meeting them, wishing them, whatever. But the diversity here with the classmates that I had from various countries, like I'd never met people from South Africa, from Pakistan, from Bangladesh, from Sri Lanka, from the US, and local people, Scottish people here. I could be with them. Then I met teachers, and when I saw them conducting classes, I was able to relate to B.Ed. So what I said, the foundation of knowledge, always going back and relating to what, but also adding new dimensions to my understanding of education, my understanding of conducting classes. And so this diversity that I got was the main reason, apart from being inclined towards research into education. And this was the reason that I moved here. And I also got a good, huge amount of scholarship based on my academic grades. So that again motivated me to apply, even though that the journey is a bit difficult to transition into something that you're already settled and you know things, and then you have to move here. But that is what builds you up, and that is what brings confidence in you, and you know what you want to do. So during my during my M.Ed journey as well, I did research and I did dissertation. So I worked with different set of people, and I'd never done research. So basically, we all do research. It's not that you have not done it or something that I did very big and very different. No, we all are doing research every single day. So say, for example, if I come up with a new word, or if you would be here before attending the session today, the trajectories in education, you must have Googled what trajectories in education is, right? So that is a little part of research that you have done, and that's what I did. So that was something challenging for me because I'd never done research. I never knew how to read papers. I never knew how to break down articles and to exactly find what kind of papers to read and what kind of papers to research. But this M.Ed journey, the confidence that built in me that I can take up challenges, I can use the transferable skills that I had learned to break this thing down for me. And I was successful. Like I was one of the few students in class to achieve good grades in my research and dissertation as well. And the research topic that I chose was Curriculum for Excellence, which is basically a standard curriculum framework here in Scotland. And like we have national curriculum framework in India, so just similar to that. So I did my research on that, and later on, I did get the opportunity to work with within a school setting here, and the structure, uh, the experience that I had, or we all have usually in India, it was very different here because the kids are different, the staff is different, most of them were local. So to be able to understand what they uh, would expect of me and then work on that. So I did use a lot of pedagogy and a lot of learning and instructional styles that I had used in B.Ed, and I'd observed my friends in their practice sessions, or I don't remember, integration classes, something like that have in B.Ed. So during those practice sessions, I I could remember that, see, one of my friends did this, and then my teachers like Vaibhavi ma'am and Valli ma'am and Rishi sir used these kind of pedagogical tools. So basically, the idea is when I was a student and I was preparing my lesson plans, I was very much nervous because I always wanted to do something big. We all want to do something big so that we stand out in our lesson plan, which takes a toll because it's like you want to do everything in just a 20-minute lesson plan or a 30-minute class, but you cannot do that. So in my journey, one very important thing that I learned was, instead of focusing on something big that you could bring, you should focus on something little and simple that you could modify and work upon. And based on those little things, you can change the dynamics of your classroom teaching. So that's again something that I learned and was able to relate because I had that base, and then I was having the experience here. I was able to understand how it was. So now currently I am in a student supportive role. So the idea of being in a student supportive role is generally what is understood as just career guidance or counseling, but it's not what it looks like here. It's very different here because we work with different departments, different schools. So we call it schools here, like we have Department of Business and Department of Education in India. We call them schools here: school of education, school of humanities, school of business. So basically, student supportive staff, there are various positions in this role. And because I am in this role now, I understand that these are the various trajectories in education, various career paths in education. And because I have the base of my B.Ed and M.Ed, and building upon skills every day, and also focusing on professional development. So I do this as well. Like, I've earned a lot of digital badges, digital training certificates and skills. I do that every single day. Uh, I bring that in my practice every single day and undergo trainings and various Microsoft Office pathways and whatnot. So there are tons of things to explore. And so what I basically do as a student supportive assistant and a student supportive officer is, I support students in their academic journey to accommodate and make their academic journey very easy for them. And I'll explain it with a very simple example so that you can understand what I do. And this is just one part of my the role that I am in. Say, for example, attendance. Now, attendance is a very simple thing, and there is a pen and paper attendance situation there. But here, attendance is, students are responsible for their own attendance. So we have applications and we have tools wherein students have to be responsible to punch in their attendance every single time they enter the university and they are attending their classes. Now, there will be tons of students who won't be aware of how to do it. When some new students, when they enter university, they are international students, or even if they are local students, they are not aware of how to do it, or they might miss their attendance. So these kind of, we come into picture in these kind of situations. They would come to us, and we would navigate them through how to do it. We would provide them training and we would ease them out so that they don't worry. That's okay. We don't know things, and that's what we are here for, to support them. So this is one role that I am in, but then there are various roles, like there are student engagement officers here. There are officers who train students for their professional journey, who help them build their CV. Like, it might sound that CV, okay, we know, but then everything is different here. And it just students become anxious and they need mental health support. So there are mental health support officers. So student services is much more than what is being practiced, but these are some career options that you all can explore. So I would just say, like, if we talk about the key takeaways from what I have discussed, is there are multiple options in education, but research, read, and then understand what exactly you want to do. so that you strategically are able to decide what you want to do and you are able to excel in that, because obviously at the end of the day it's something that would make you happy, that I am in I'm doing something that I want to do, right? And focus on the focus on what, but most importantly focus on how you would do something instead of what you want to do. And also the little details that I said are important than something big you that want to do. You can focus on little details and you can work upon that and use simple ideas just to do anything for your pedagogy or any other instructional thing that you do. And that's me.
Yeah, Shachi, nice to know the way you, I think, explained your profile. And I like the idea that you put up about transferable skills, because I think most of us are not focusing on what needs to be taken up as a transferable skill and, use it um, in the process of education, because this is our life, and life will have a lot of challenges. It is not only academic, but it will also have a lot of challenges that might be personal challenges. And I think that's where education must be making a difference. I think transferable skills is something that education must be looking at. Not only that, I think it is also responsibility of the student to understand that these are the transferable skills and I need
Yes,
to
of course.
capitalize on that.
Yes.
So I
Yeah.
really like that idea that you put up. Another thing that you rightly put up is the vertical of research, which has opened up big time. And I think research assistants are something that are being looked at. And if you have done your B.Ed, you at least have idea of education, and somewhere we are talking about research. You might do your masters and then you might go ahead with your research, but at least that orientation, that research can be something that can be looked into, is what
Yes.
you could be, understanding. The third point that you put up, and I think if we get some time we can talk about it later, but instructional style, I think that was an important word that you focused on. And I don't know whether my first years are listening to this or not, but instructional styles and instructional designers is another field that is emerging uh, quite quickly, and I would say has a lot of opportunities for you to look into, because content writing is part of that instruction. So there are a lot ample opportunities in instructional this styles and even content writing that you're looking at. You also talked about student support and the various trainings that you took up so that you could be equipped with this role as new role that you have taken up. And I really like this idea that you put up, that you being an adjunct professor in MSU, you came to do your bachelor's, you did your master's, and now you're doing something which is a little different than what a master's students will do. He will
Yes.
always go into teaching, I'm very sure. You have done your MEd, which means now you are entitled to teach and you will do that. But I'm
Yes.
liking a little variety or touch of that uh, difference that you have given it to it. You are into student support, which is considered very important role there, because that makes them emerge in those two
Yes.
years or 3 years of program or 4 years of program that you have. So that is something that I would like even students to think about. You also talked about student engagement officers and professional journey and the CV writing and all that, the help that is being provided by these people. I think that is something that we need to look at. Overall, I think that Shachi, somewhere whenever you put up your thoughts, there is a lot of depth into it. So you always have explanations and examples that you look at. I think one more thing that probably if we get time, I will talk with you regarding that if you can give us an example of where exactly have you used your problem solving skills. So if we can, in the
Yes.
later part of the session, if we can get an idea on two things, one is the instructional styles and this problem solving skills, an example of it, that will be helpful for us to for the first years also to understand, right? Yeah, I thank you for whatever you conveyed right now. Be with us and we'll be in touch with you over a period of time. Yeah. So with
Yes.
this, I'll go ahead with our second speaker for today, and she's Jinisha. Basically, again, our student, right? And we are proud of our students that they are able to represent their ideas so clearly in such sessions. So she has done her Bachelor's of Engineering in IT and Masters of Science in Industrial Engineering from San Jose State State University, California. So, Ginny, let me know if I pronounced it wrongly, but
No, no, it's right, ma'am.
yeah, San Jose State University,
San Jose.
California. And she's also green belt in Six Sigma. So that's where it really got my attention because she has done her Six Sigma and she's also into, you know, uh, in her production processes, she always talks about, madam, reduction of waste and optimization of resources. So that's where we both connected with reference to critical thinking and, her
Correct.
profile of engineering. And then she's also certified ISO auditor and a Six Sigma professional who has worked in various industries for continuous process improvement. I think, Ginny, we got connected because of that
Yeah.
process improvement that you are talking about. And she's right now, currently ATL in charge in Navrashna Vidyalay. And I think under her leadership, she has won a lot of awards along with her students' teams. She's also coming to our university to pitch her, her innovative projects under SIP grants. And I think she has received a couple of grants, and I've seen her poster nowadays at least twice in Baroda near Pandya Bridge, right? So she's making a lot of headlines in her school also. So yeah, Ginny, if you can talk about your verticals and the way you have been taking up this responsibility from engineering to education and being an ATL in charge. And I think that utilizes your potential to the best, and you are able to give your best over there. So how engineering helps in ATL and STEM education, and yeah, and what are the verticals in STEM education? If you can talk about that. I'll be here in 2 minutes and you can discuss on this thought. I'll be back. Yeah.
Sure, ma'am. Very good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, ma'am, for the introduction. BA program, I think Sachi has touched a lot of things about the benefits of a B.Ed program at Navrachna University. I had a lot of anxiety when I started B.Ed program. Switching from engineering to education is a big change in my career. But then I was confident, like this skills that I have, engineering skills that I will be able to use somewhere in the field of education. So the pluses for me of the B.Ed program at Navrachna University is like the way curriculum has been designed is very detail oriented. It prepares you completely for the way, like you go out of the classroom and you go to real classrooms. You will not have a problem in transitioning from B.Ed to the teaching classrooms where you go in the school, because you've been equipped with all the skills that you require. I did not like the assignments of making timetables and making worksheets and all. It was like so tedious. I don't want to do this at all. Blueprints, I used to hate it. But then I did all the assignments with full conviction just to make sure that I don't lose out any skill that is required in the classroom, because that is what we need when we go. Basic skills like making timetables, and in the first year of your internship you will require all the skills because they will test you for everything and anything. So interns are like put up with all the work, and you have to make worksheets and you have to make timetables and you have to make everything and anything. So the way the program is structured here, it equips you with all the skills that you require. So you will not feel lost when you go to the schools, or when you are in the schools you'll feel confident, like I know things. Even ICT classes, when we used to attend, like technology, they'll teach you anything like designing hai, or whatever is required in the school. So I don't want to take a lot of time in telling what skills I have used, but I want to talk about how I've blended engineering and education together. So that has helped me excel here in Navrashna Vidyani. So during my placement, I was not even going to sit for the placement, but Vaibhavi I was like, you sit for it, let's see. So I got the placement at Navrachna and I was appointed as an ATL in charge. So when I was appointed as an ATL in charge, I was not very clear what the job role is. But I had belief on myself that I have the skills, engineering skills. I have skills that I've learned here in the B.Ed program. So for me, the most important thing as an ATL in charge when I joined was to take up all the challenges that they gave me. They threw so many things at me because it was new for the school as well. So it was an upcoming program and it was new for them, new for me. So I learned while I was there, uh, finding new things on my own, understanding things on my own. So the key thing is, as the new NEP policy that we have heard, they focus a lot on the STEM education. So STEM education is a mixture of science, mathematics, technology, and engineering. So it's not that only engineers can become STEM educators. That is a myth. Anybody with science background, anybody with mathematics, chemistry, physics, biology, if you have MSc or if you have BSc, you can still become a STEM educator. So it is not necessary that you need to have engineering skills. And basic engineering skills, I think you can develop as in when you take up certifications or you take up programs. So that is something that I want to clarify. Not that you have to be an engineer to be a STEM educator. That's not true. Now, other thing is being a STEM, usually schools have a couple of STEM teachers. So STEM teachers are teaching technology. So they are either teaching 3D designing, 3D printing. You can teach how to design posters, how to design hoardings. We can make projects using basic electronic components. So all of this was very new when I joined. But then in India, Atal Innovation Mission, so AIM, has AIM along with Niti Aayog, they have programs for schools. So each school can apply for ATL labs, which is Atal Tinkering Lab. So Atal Tinkering Lab is something where you can do all this engineering as well as project work. And you receive funds from them, you receive grants from them. They have a very basic curriculum outline. So you really don't have to do a lot of brainstorming in designing the curriculum. If you are a STEM educator, you can follow that curriculum. It is there on their website, free. And you can just access the curriculum and you can design based on your availability of components or skills. And then you can start with a very basic, very basic topics. So that is something that can be done. Other thing is, along with it being an ATL in charge. So in charge is something that if your school is a registered ATL lab, they have a lot of formalities to be done. So that is why we have an ATL lab and ATL in charge. But then along with being an ATL in charge, there are a lot of options in the field of STEM education. So if we look at the screen, so in teaching and education, you can become a STEM educator, you can become a subject matter expert, you can become an ATL in charge. So for example, if you are good with 3D designing, if you are good with robotics, or even if you are good with making DIY projects, or you are good with making models, then you can specialize in those skills and then you can become a subject matter expert also. You can become a ATL in charge, or you can just become a STEM educator by integrating few subjects, and then you can create projects or lesson plans in such a way that you can become a STEM educator. If you go to content or curriculum, so STEM is something which is upcoming. It's not that all the schools have STEM education or all the schools have a defined STEM educator. All of us do have lesson plans where we integrate different subjects. So that is STEM only. But it's just like we don't have a designated person who is a STEM educator or who has developed a curriculum which is completely related to STEM activities. So you can become one of the STEM curriculum developer, or you can become a content developer, or you can become a coordinator, STEM coordinator for curriculum development. Then, for my first year of being an ATL in charge, I had attended around 12 to 13 workshops. And these workshops are something that they don't come to me. So I think you have to be proactive. You have to pave your way. You have to create opportunities for yourself. Nothing is going to come to you like you're sitting on your desk and here you become this or you become that. So you have to be proactive. So these workshops and these activities are something that I used to look up. I used to search a lot. I used to find on their websites or Facebook or Instagram page. These days, everybody has Instagram and Facebook. So, they make announcements. You register for those. Even you can register on the NCERT website. They have a lot of classes. They have a lot of activities for STEM. So, you can register there. You can get 1-day certification or 2-day certification. Google also has free certification courses. So, you can take certification courses, and once you are certified, you can you can conduct workshops in your school. You can conduct workshops for other schools also. You can conduct paid workshops, and such workshops can help you improve your skills, and it can bring awareness in the community also. So as a community also, you can work together the projects. Then entrepreneurship opportunities, you can open your own classes, or you can have robot classes or 3D printing classes. Then startups is something that weighs a little bit at the end. And you can also work with Atal Innovation Mission. Atal Innovation Mission has a lot of career opportunities. It has 10,000 ATL labs in the country. So you can become a mentor of change at Baroda level. I can become a mentor of change for 3 schools in Baroda. So I can work with Atal Innovation, which is a government body. So, you can work and there is no requirement for any test or anything. You just apply. They have applications open. You apply. And then if you get picked, you can work with Atal Innovation Mission, become a mentor of change. So you can work with 3 schools, develop their STEM programs, STEM activities, and curriculum classes. So a lot of opportunities are coming up these days with STEM. Other than those, as an educator, you can also work with your students for projects, take up those projects to Atal Innovation Mission or government bodies. You can apply for grants and you can become a co-founder with the students, because students are underage. Like I am a co-founder for 2 projects, and students are only 13 or 14. So they need an adult as a co-founder. So as an educator, you can become their mentor and become a co-founder along with them. So this area, when I started, I was like, ATL in charge bana to diya. What am I going to do when I go to the school? Then I went to the school and I was like, oh, engineering hai. I will be able to do it aram se. Koi badi baat nahi. But then with education in it, like, just Sachi mentioned, your CAG has helped me so much in understanding child psychology or how children react or how children work. So when you are at Navrachna in the B.Ed program, take up as much as you can from the program, because you have ample of things taught to you, and everything that is taught to you is going to be applicable somewhere or the other. There are times where I find out some competitions and I go to principal ma'am and I tell her, ma'am, we want to participate in this. She's like, no, Jenny, I still do it. But I don't tell her we have participated. But when we win, then she's like, she's happy. So there are times where you have to take your own decisions also. You have to be like, that is how you create opportunities for yourself. And it's all for good. You're doing it for children, you're doing it for their growth. They are understanding a lot of things. One thing is with STEM education, you will require to travel a little bit. So that is something that is going to add a lot of skills. You meet a lot of people. I have collaborated with a lot of people from a lot of schools around me. So when I need help, it is very easy for me to go to people, to get connected with people and share knowledge. So my BEd journey has been wonderful. I mean, I always tell ma'am, and she's like, "You ज़्यादा बोल रहे हो," but no, it has been wonderful journey. I did not like assignments, but then I have learned a lot of things, and applied a lot of things that I've learned in critical thinking. That was my favorite subject, as ma'am knows.
Right. Yeah.
But then even now, like today also, I had to take a decision. I was like, I will not react. I will respond. I will not react. I will respond. I was so mad. And I was like, I'm not reacting. I will respond. I'll think. I will respond. So a lot of things have helped. And try to stay proactive. That is like a very key, important thing that you will need when you are in the school.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Ginny, for that. For those insights that you shared. I think many of the new students that join, they always have that apprehension that from engineering to education, how would the opportunities be for us in terms of teaching also. So I think, yeah, you helped us clarify that part, along with if somebody wants to, work in the area of STEM education, and, as you said, Atal Innovation Lab and all, and mission. I think, yeah, this helps us to know more about what you're doing. I just had one quick question with reference to STEM education. There is also an A added to it now in terms of STEAM education. So how does A get involved into STEM education now? Just quickly, if you can help us out to understand.
So it is art integration, and we are, I think, emphasizing more on art integration. I'll just give you a small example of what we did today in the school. So probably it will. So we had a maths class. First students, they are taught 1, 2, 3 like number system, ascending order, descending order. So what we are doing is with music. So Saregama. So we're trying to integrate music with mathematics. So they're learning like Sare Gama Pa 1, 2, 3, 4. It goes in ascending order. When you come back, it comes back in the descending order.
Okay.
So that is something like art of any form. Can be like emotional intelligence. Hussein and I, we were working on that too in the school for design thinking skill module. So that is also something that I came for Khoj project, and we saw art integration. So picture, we have another art integration project. I'm trying to recollect. Once I recollect, I'll come back to the
Fine.
project.
Sure. So yeah,
art, like any form of art, like dance or even drawing, anything can be integrated to teach concepts.
Yes. It could be visual or it could be
Oh,
performance.
yes, I remember. We used clay, clay and matchsticks to art. We gave clay and matchsticks to the students, and we asked them to build 3D models.
Correct. Okay. Yeah.
So they.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Ginny, for those those insights. And now I'll quickly go to Shivani, and I think she'll help us out because she's working, purely into academics right now, which is talking about her leadership role as a coordinator, and even as a teacher, because she's also working as a teacher from grade 7 to 11. And they have introduced now 11th and 12th, and where she is also taking up her 11th and 12th economics and business studies subjects. So she's also PGT, as well as she is a coordinator from grade 7 to grade 11. So that it is a very, I think, dynamic role where you also have to teach, and along with that you also have to coordinate with a lot of things. And administration and leadership does not come easy. I think it requires a lot of skills to get into it. So she's currently working as a coordinator of Global Discovery School, Herni, and she's also working as a teacher of economics, specifically into 11th and 12th. And I think that will help us to understand that, she was my student in one of the integration classes, and I know how she, was initially reluctant on giving her, complete 10 minutes of class. And from that journey to this journey, I think it is a long leap that she has taken. And I'm sure that she has certain skill sets with her uh, that she has been taking along that will help us to know, how to reach that level that she has looked into. Naturally, even in her content also, she must have worked really hard into economics, where now, she's been given the task of taking 11th and 12th after these 3-4 years of her journey. So Shivani, it is to you now to explain us how to go ahead with that dual role of administration as well as teaching, and how B.Ed has helped her, bring those skills over here. Yes, Shivani. Are you there?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you
Yeah.
so much, ma'am, for introducing me in a very matlab, I don't feel like that I'm doing a big thing, but yes, the way you
Yeah.
have introduced me, it made me feel like okay, I'm doing something right now. Uh, I would start with my journey basically because the journey was from the base. When you are a very basic and we can say many of our first year students or second year students have got the opportunity, first have got the offer to work with the lower grades, and we are reluctant to do that.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Even I was like that. I thought ki I am an economics and commerce student, so I should be getting a higher grade.
Right.
But when the placement was done, I got a lower grade. Initially, I was reluctant. Then I had to join. Okay, I thought ki okay, I will join. I was sure that I'll not become a bad teacher because it is the future of the students. That
Right.
was my intent with which I started. And here I would give credit to Navrachna University, or I would credit to the subjects that were being taught to us, like critical thinking, then childhood development. All those things helped me to understand smaller kids, helped me to be be creative in the class and come out with a lot of ideas which my seniors, or we can say our management, liked it. I came out with new technologies as well in that grade, and that helped me to grow from a second grade teacher. And I became fifth, sixth grade teacher as well as the coordinator. It was a sudden jump, but yes, within those 2 years, I was being observed. And when you are at that platform, the one thing that you have to do is you should never be regretful about what you do. You should never be taking things in a negative way. Okay, if it has come, just accept it, give your best, and the things will be observed. So I went through this simple line, and it helped me. Then yes, after the 2 years when we I became the coordinator, I was not ready for that role as well. I was reluctant for that as well because I did not. It was a sudden change for me. So even I told my management that I am very small to work these roles. So they told we will help you, but yes, ultimately I had to do go through my journey. So I learned a lot of things there. First, I learned empathy. We were taught how to be empathetic, but when you are a teacher, you can be empathetic towards the student, and that is what we do in the classes as a teacher. But when you become a coordinator, you become a bridge between the management and the teachers who are working in the field. So you will have to be very cautious that whether you would like to take a side of the teachers, or to the side you are at the side of the management, because balancing that is a very difficult task. So I had to be empathetic. I had to understand my teacher's problems. I had to communicate. So here communication played a very important role because you need to know how to communicate. First, you need to listen to the teachers, and then only if you find, yes, this is a serious problem, you will have to be a problem solver. You will have to come out with a solution. Otherwise, your teachers will not respect you. They want a leader who solves their problem, who listens to them. Everyone wants that. So you will have to listen, you will have to come out with a solution, then you will have to communicate, and communicate in such a way that it should go in a proper manner to the management. If you go and simply blabber in front of the management, that also creates problem. So communication skills also plays a very important role in this. Then organizing multitask. If you are a coordinator, you are a teacher, you have to manage all the events. You will have to manage the inter-school competition, even sometimes inter-school competitions. You will have to manage the we can say guest lectures, training of the teachers. Then all the things that are happening in the school will go through you. So you will have to keep an eye, and you will have to manage. And at the same time, you will have to focus on the teaching as well. So it becomes a very, we can say, complex task, because you will you require
Shivani,
time and prioritize things.
Shivani, I'm just interrupting you, and I want to know very specifically what made others think that you can lead? What are those very specific skills that made people think about you coordinating things? Because that is the vertical that we are looking at. I mean, I want my students probably to think about this role as a coordinator. So what should they be considering?
I would say my loyalty
Okay.
towards my work, my acceptance of mistakes.
Okay.
Whenever there was a mistake, I used to accept it, I used to correct it, and then move forward. I wasn't attached to my mistakes for a longer period of time.
Very good.
So
Very good, sir.
all these things, then I was very honest. Not brutally honest, but yes, I was honest.
Right.
Whenever I was asked something, I used to give my clear opinions.
Right.
So all these things were seen, and it was yes, it was appreciated that yes, she is the one who can be trusted on, who can do, we can make her do work, because she never says no. Also, I was always ready for a lot of opportunities, and ready to learn new
Right.
things.
Right.
So all these things were seen and appreciated, and that helped me to become the coordinator.
Right. Yes.
So
Yeah,
uh,
that's a very nice journey put up, Shivani, and I'm really amazed by three of you who are able to very clearly put up their thoughts, because it is at this time now. I'm brutally honest right now, if I would like to say that this is the time now that I'm able to clearly communicate what I feel. But you all are at a stage, you know. I won't say that you are very experienced. You are into the field now. You are getting a lot of experience, but yet this clarity of you all, I'm amazed by this that you are putting up at this forum. Yeah, I think Shachi had some work to leave. Is that so? So then I will not, block you for a long time. And yeah,
No, I just popped in the question just so that, like, if everyone's sleeping, because I could see everyone's videos off, and I'm sure.
yeah, I mean, see, this is something that we all need to look at. I don't see any first years.
So,
I think it is
yeah,
a webinar between us.
yeah. So
I am learning,
I
you
was
are
like,
learning, and the learning has
let's wake
happened.
them up. And I just had a little live thing over Mentimeter where they could feed in their responses, and we could see live
Yeah, yeah.
going
But
on in their head.
yeah, that
But
is something that I don't know where everybody is. Some of them are at work, but
yeah,
some
so
of
we'll
them can
see.
on their cameras.
Yeah,
But yeah,
so
it
we'll
is.
see from the responses if they're still awake, or like
I
the
don't
day
know
has
whether
got
they
them.
are awake, Hope, I mean, now at this point, you can all on your cameras, Tarangi, Twisha. I think I will have to call out their names now. Mansi,
Have
Gilson,
a session
Soumya.
with you separately
You
after
might be
this.
at work. That's fine. At least show us your faces.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah, I
these
got
people
you,
are in
Mansi.
class. They can easily on their camera, Dhruti and all. They are in class. Gilson and all. Please. It is like, it is 4 of 5 of us session.
See, we never turned off the camera.
Yeah, I never allowed that.
No, no,
Yeah.
never. We in fact got a session after the session
Yeah.
on how lazy we are to put on our cameras and not showing happy faces. But
We-
yeah,
Yeah. So yeah, I think it is all a well-drawn session, but then it is also open for others to ask questions. Meantime, between that time, I just put up 2, 3 slides that I had, I have not prepared anything, but I just wanted you to see these 2, 3 opportunities that I was looking at from this Naukri.com. And I think because we are talking about verticals, you should be able to think about these aspects. And many of some of my students, they are already working into content development and all, if I'm not wrong. Hussain hai and Tarangi and all, I think they are working. But yes, you can look into this, see math curriculum developer. So these are all the, some of them are remote jobs, and you can, at home, at your pace, you can develop content. And if you see, they're all asking for B.Ed as the eligibility criteria. So that is why I could, come out with this. And I've just picked up this from directly from this Naukri. Another set is instructional designer, and I wanted Shachi to put a little more light on this instructional styles and designing. So this is another thing, another area, as I mentioned earlier, which is developing a lot. And if you see here also, it requires bachelor's or master's degree in education, curriculum development, and this area, even Shachi, I could see her profile talking about development and all. So if you can add a little more to this. And these are the softwares, or these are the systems that help us develop content also. They are being mentioned by these institutes that are posting the jobs. I'm not sure of this right now, but yes, you are all right now into this IT field and all. You can go ahead and look into it, how this might help you to design instruction or even create content. So these are the ones I think you can just take a screenshot and look into it. I saw a very good ad, which I'll just share over here. You can just have a look at it. See, I may not make sense right now initially, but I just want to add a little over this. Give me a second.
Adobe is working with NCRT very close. So Adobe is something that they can learn. It
Right.
is helping them. We are taking some workshops from the school
Acha.
for that.
Okay. So see, this is an instructional designer job, Toronto, Canada, and I wanted you to see this part, which talks about this is an edtech company, and it looks into, yeah, I wanted you to look into this. These are the softwares that they use for instructional design. So any part of your life, any part of the time, if you're able to get into this desire to learn, right space, articulate rise, these people are very typical, and they will not just rely on your B.Ed experience. They will want you to go through these systems and these softwares. Unless you have certifications in this, they will not take you for the other roles. So that is why I just wanted you to, have a look into it. Probably over a period of time, you can start having a look at this. So yeah, from my side, I wanted you to look into this. And yes, Shachi or Ginny, Shivani, any of you, if you would like to add something to this. And after that, if anybody has questions, we can take that. Yeah, it is to you. Shachi and Ginny, Shivani, yeah. Shashi, if you wish to go ahead.
Yeah, like I just wanted to answer two questions that you had put up at the end of my session. First, about the instructional style or pedagogical style that I was talking about, and I repeatedly said you focusing instead of focusing on the bigger things and taking it so much and then not able to implement or not able to get what you want, but focusing on small skills or small details that would improve the classroom dynamics. Um, what I meant was, I'll explain it with an example. Now, one of our teachers had done this, and I could observe the changes based on what he did. So this is a very simple thing. What he did was, basically he had brought in his lecture a big box of chocolates, and we were super excited to see the moment we entered class, and we were like, okay, Peter has got a big box of chocolates, and what's he gonna do? And he was like, okay, you can come and pick up any chocolate that you like. And because the box had mixed, like they were candies from different companies, obviously you would choose based on your preferences, right? Someone would like caramel, someone would like coconut, XYZ. So, and he instructed us to not eat the chocolate. So we were just eagerly waiting. Okay, the moment he says, go ahead and eat it and we'll be happy. So we took our candies and we were sitting in the class, and he began his session, and we were still wondering what is up with the chocolates. And what he did was, he said, everyone with Snickers, can you raise your hand, and you can come sit in one group, and everyone with the Bounty can come sit in another group, everyone with some other chocolate can sit. So what happened here is, there was physical movement of students. And now I'm not saying this is a standard pedagogical practice. Obviously, you will have to work around the age group that you are with. But what I'm trying to say is how simple things work. And so I was not sitting with someone who I usually sat with. My group changed.
Right.
Now, because my group changed, the way I would interact, so communication skills, working in a team, that changed. And we brainstormed new ideas, and we could see that, okay, this person has come up with something new, which my group won't come up with, because you usually know the dynamics of your own group. It will be like, ye to yahi answer bolega, kind of a thing. You know. So it changed. The entire physical setting of the class changed, and we came up with some amazing ideas in our groups. So you see here that just bringing a box of chocolates in the class, changing the physical setting of the classroom, and then teaching, so that you are fresh, you have moved, you are brainstorming new ideas. So this is very simple instructional style, but you can build upon this very simple thing and then do your thing. So it's not always doing, I want to bring artificial intelligence in my class and I'm going to do something really big, or I want to bring virtual reality and only then I'll be able to make a big impact. No.
Right.
Also, in B.Ed, I've understood it later when I did my master's here, that it's not only what you want to do with your lesson plan. That's not what your observers see, but they also see how do you take that up. So don't be nervous about this person, my friend has got this idea, but I don't have something big and amazing. That's okay. That's okay. Right. So that was the answer to one of the questions. And second, about the problem solving skills. Very recently, just last month, one of my managers actually had to go on a compassionate leave, and I was put up on a conference, which is an international conference, and people from worldwide are being part of it, and it's in August. And I was just suddenly, I had to suddenly take the charge of it. So it's like I did not knew what the I had to draft the entire schedule of the program. I had to fit in all the papers. I had to coordinate and communicate with people I have never communicated before. I had to be present in council meetings with people. I had to conduct meetings with my dean, and it was so much. But then there comes in the problem solving skills or other skills, that transferable skills that I highlighted. And I have been like repeatedly appreciated by members of my team and staff, that how meticulously I had put down the entire draft. We had put it live last week. So the newsletter for the conference is live last week, and I was able to arrange the entire draft. I used digital tools that ma'am and my friends here, Ginny and Shivani, has already very amazingly from their experience said that using digital tools and keeping on learning. In my life, I hands on Microsoft Sway to design the entire program. So I didn't even knew how to use Microsoft Sway. But then now the same program is live and I am coordinating with teams. So where these skills only act as base and bring that confidence in you to take up anything that you want to. So yeah, so just that from my end.
Yeah, that helps, Shachi, to think about the way you have put up your pedagogy style that one of the professor adopted, and even the problem solving part. Yeah, if anybody else, I mean, Ginny, Shivani, if you want to add any thought to any of what we
I just
said.
want to add one like small thing for your personal growth. We always have like teachers are paid really not well, like really less amount. And we have that perception like for this salary, I'm only going to do so much. But when you are in your first and second year of your career, all you need to focus is on your growth. The salary will fall, it will come. Once you are recognized, your work is recognized, it is going to come. And, your increments, your work will speak for itself. So just one small example, Sachi is motivating me to give examples. But in my first year of internship, somebody from a technical background have nothing to do with anything related to art whatsoever. I was the assistant director in concert. And Vidyani's concerts are like huge and grand scale. And I was supposed to look after the drama.
Right.
And I was so nervous at the first. And I said, ma'am, aapne kya soch ke mujhe diya hai ye? I am a technical person. How will I do this? So she said, just go for it. So I was like, okay, let's just do this because I'm given and I'm an intern. I have to do it and things like that. But those 30 days, I have learned so many things about costumes and drama, teleprompter, and things I've never even heard in my life, even after having so much experience. So it was, and I've made good friends. I've connected with students whom I don't teach. And it was a wonderful experience for me. It was a lot for me to take in. But then for your personal growth, whatever you're thrown at, take it positively, learn from it, and somewhere you are going to get rewarded for that. I know that for sure.
Yeah.
So don't hesitate to, मुझे सिर्फ 15,000 मिल रहा है, I'm only going to do so much.
Yeah.
Do it. And be empathetic towards your co-teachers also. There are teachers who are 50, at the age of 50, they are learning new technologies, having a lot of trouble. If you have to spare half an hour, just do it. Rather than getting, paid more money, that satisfaction that you have, job satisfaction that you have, it is priceless. And that is something will keep you going also forward. So, and take pride in becoming a teacher. I know we are the least paid profession. We are in the least paid profession as a hai. That's the myth. But then we are making a big difference in a lot of people's lives. So take pride in it.
Great. Thank you, Jeannie, for those reflections that you shared. And I also liked one more thought put up by Shivani that said that you are being observed all all that you do. So yeah, all of us are being observed. So doing the right work is important, right? And I will now go a little to the audience and the participants and my students. If you have any questions, please put them up, because not much in terms of verticals, but I think a lot in terms of their experiences and how that has helped them build up what they are doing right now. So, yeah, if you have any questions, which means you all are alive. So,
Yes, ma'am. I do
yes.
have a question for Jeannie, ma'am. So as she has mentioned that Adobe is like, what we need to learn, right? So we are unaware of how it works, what it does, and most of the school does not even give us training about it, right? So the
Correct.
workshops that you are conducting, are they open for all or are they only for your school?
They are open. There are open workshops which you can go to NCRT website or even Adobe website. You will find some free workshops that you can do. Even Google is offering free workshops like 2 hours masterclass or 3 hours masterclass, where you can do very basic training with them. And then school, as per their requirement, will provide a 2 or 3 days workshop if required, if it is absorbing Adobe as a software. Then it
Do
will
share us
definitely
the
help.
links, Jeannie, if
I will.
possible, so that
I've just shared it. I'll send Adobe's as well.
right. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. Anything else? I had one question from the audience that said, that was directed to Shivani, and that said that how do you handle petty politics in school?
It's just that I was being appreciated for this. I'm not politically involved in anything, and I'm not into the politics of the school.
Great.
The simple thing is that you need to be straight. You don't need to get into others' business. You just have to look after your work. You don't need to attach what others are saying to your heart and react on it. You are there for the students. You just need to remember that if you are going to attach your emotions with the teachers and react on that, then you may fall into the trap of politics.
Right. Yeah. Thank you. Well shared. So I think, do you all have any more questions? Anybody? If I have had these people with me, I would have asked more questions, and I do have more questions, but I'll not go ahead with any more questions from my
Ma'am,
side.
I do have, as
Yeah.
Shivani ma'am said, now that we need to, be more focused on our work and for the future of the kids, right? But sometimes, like it shows, if we are continuously, of course, we do focus on our work, but sometimes it is considered as the arrogant behavior of a teacher. So, what could be the solution for it? Though, I mean, of course, we are not getting engaged, into the each and everything of all the teachers, but sometimes this also be considered as arrogant behavior, or we can say selfish behavior. So, what could be the solutions for this?
Yeah, Shivani.
Yes, it might be called as arrogant, what I can see or sense. When we are focused on our business, that doesn't mean that we will not interact with other teachers or we will not help them, or if we will sit with them, we will have a bond with them. But at the same time, we have to remember that their business, or in the gossips, especially in the gossips, we should not get involved in those. When they are talking about rubbish about other students, when they are talking rubbish about other teachers, we should not be
Hmm.
involved in that.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. Fine. Thank you.
Anyone else? has any question? Okay. I think, we do not see any more questions. I had a lot of questions with reference to the softwares that we can use for design and content development and all of that. But yeah, Ginny.
Ma'am, Canva is something that they can learn. It is free. You can just
Yeah.
log in. And those who have like already are using, it's well and good. It's something that is going to help you in the school a lot, making
Right.
worksheets or interact even for boards.
Yeah.
And one small thing I wanted to add is even if you have a new idea which is very like small, I mean very small change that you want to make, don't hesitate to talk to your coordinators. Please don't hesitate. Just कि मेरा idea अच्छा नहीं है, मैं बोलूं क्या बोलेंगे करके, don't do that. If you have a new idea and you think it will help, just talk to your coordinators.
Fine. Okay. Thank you all. I would just like to consolidate what was discussed today. It basically talked about what can be the verticals. The verticals can be in terms of research. It could be in terms of instructional design. It could be in terms of content development. It could be in terms of curriculum designer. It could be a policy evaluator. It could be a STEM educator. And it could be a PGT. It could be a coordinator. There are a lot of verticals that we can look into. This session basically highlighted on what could be the verticals, not how this can become verticals. So let me be very clear. Some of them might be thinking कि ये बात नहीं हुआ, ये बात नहीं हुआ, but ये session था basically verticals देखने के लिए, और ये एक myth है या फिर एक ये belief है कि ये करके you can become a classroom teacher. We just wanted to think about what else can be done. So this session basically focused on this. And yeah, if you have more questions, you can be personally in touch. Even if we do not know, we will try and find it out. So yeah, with this, I would like to wind up today's session. I would like to thank Shachi for, every time I talk with her and I ask her to support, she's always there. Thank you so much for that. I've never seen her saying no. So best wishes to you, Ginny. I always see her being there. So even if it is a workshop, even if it is any session, she's always there. Yeah, I'll come. So she never says no. That's one trait that I always look forward to. Ginny, thank you for that session. Shivani, growing a lot with all of us. She's always there for the vivas and all nowadays. So she's also coming a lot with us, and I want her, to be more involved with what we are doing now. So thank you for being there. And yeah, thank you all the students that could come out irrespective of the routines that they had with the schools over here and could listen to what we were saying. We talk a lot and you again listen to us. So now next time I want you to talk so you can be that in that position where you can come and talk to us about your area of specialization. So thank you all for joining us. And I think these webinars do help us a lot, at least with sharing of experiences. Right? So we will keep on meeting with such online webinars. Thank you all. And I'll see you later.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you so
for
much,
inviting
ma'am.
me.
Good one.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bye.
Bye everybody.
Bye.
Thank you,
Bye.
ma'am.
Bye,
Thank you.
everyone. Bye, Ginny and Shivani. Valli, ma'am.
Bye, Sachi. Bye,
Bye
Shivani, ma'am.
everybody. Bye, ma'am.
Bye bye.